Hey everyone, we're just talking about some glitch stuff that's been happening on Substack, but now we're here. So let's make the most of the next 20 minutes or 22 minutes. I got to go on Don Lemon at 5. But 22 minutes is enough because Lev and we made a list of all the stuff. We got secret military meetings. We got corruption. We got indictments. We got meltdowns. We got the use and abuse of Charlie Kirk. And now this shooting by this kid who was on 4chan, but just conveniently leaves behind anti-ICE. And we're seeing a desperate Trump administration go all in on trying to crush its critics and opponents. And the Epstein file ain't going away, especially with the special election in Arizona where they have the vote. So Mike Johnson is punting, punting, punting. So I called up Lev earlier today. I'm like, yo, man, what are you hearing? And let's start with Hegseth. Why, oh, why is Pete Hegseth all of a sudden bringing all the military heads together in DC for a last second meeting?
I'm actually working on this Substack letter as you called me, and we're gonna go into a lot more because I'm waiting for some phone calls. But this is basically a loyalty purge, folks. This is I've never been heard of. Everybody I've spoken to inside the Pentagon, my sources, there, everybody's flipping out. But this is a preparation for what I'm hearing for something big. I mean, this is a major push of the Project 2025 platform, and you've been seeing the acceleration happen right after Charlie Kirk's death, from the push of the anti-radical left to the organized, saying that Antifa is now a terrorist organization. It's a move to obviously to start using military and using military heavily against our American citizens, and this is going to be a loyalty purge of which generals or which military leaders are going to be willing to follow Donald Trump or going to stand up. And this is why this is very dangerous. The other thing I'm hearing is about the invasion into Venezuela and also what the walking away from the war in Russia and Ukraine and Eastern Europe, and the way he's basically going to now allow that whole thing to implode. So there's what I'm hearing from the way our military is. I'm not a military individual. We just got off doing a special with Malcolm Nance. Is the generals are, they're respected in their own way. They don't take, these are people, 3-4 star generals, gave their whole life to our country. And they don't take shit, not from presidents, especially not from shitheads like Pete Hegseth that can't even hold their weight. And that's why this is part of the purge that has been going on to get rid of the hierarchy and put people in place that it would have taken maybe another 20 years to reach those levels of leadership, but get there not because of what they know or what they achieve, but because of the loyalty they will give to Trump in the next part of Project 2025, which is invading Venezuela, which is putting military on the streets of the United States against American citizens, and using the anti-left radicalization.
And it seems like to me what we've talked about for months now is the purge, the creation of their own Reichstag fire, the Charlie Kirk murder was just very convenient for them because they've used it and abused it for the last 2 weeks. I think they've overreached, in my opinion, especially what you saw with Jimmy Kimmel. It's gotten some life into the resistance, which means that they're more desperate, which means they're going to crack down. There's also next week Russell Vought has threatened, the co-author of Project 2025. Well, if Democrats, if you don't fund us, we're going to fire more people. I'm like, that's what you've already been doing. You've already been firing people. So what's next? So you see that what Hegseth is doing is pretty much a loyalty oath, which is, by the way, folks, he's been doing that already. He got knocked. Didn't he get knocked for doing what did you call the truth test? What was that thing? What he got caught for doing? He got reprimanded even by the Trump administration
Right,
for
it's like
doing
a loyalty
yeah,
test. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a truth test. But see, with Hextech, you have to understand he's and all of Trump's right now administration. They don't belong in those positions because
Polygraph.
they
Thank you, Mary. Yeah.
yeah, polygraph. Thank you. Yeah, polygraph. That's right, polygraph.
Brain
They
farts,
don't.
guys.
Yeah.
We're tired. We're old, tired men with a bunch of kids.
Exactly. They're doing this and installing it to be able to right now because Hextech doesn't have the respect of the generals. So
There
they're
you go.
not listening there, and because he doesn't have the respect because he didn't achieve it, he needs to do this purge to, and that's why I call it a loyalty test, and that's why a lot of people are saying it. But this is basically to get again. This is all of these steps, and Waj is 100% right because they panic, they're nervous. Why? Because they're underwater. Their polls are underwater. Everything they've done, that they see that in the midterms they should get slaughtered. The courts are starting to turn against them. The people are starting to turn against them. And what Waj said is extremely important because what happened with Jimmy Kimmel is bigger than we should be talking about because our voices were heard. Because even with Donald Trump putting pressure, the White House putting pressure, Sinclair, other media sources going away, because we stopped, because we went out there and stopped subscribing to Hulu, because we made our voice, they brought him back out. And what did it do? It made Trump make a huge mistake. We're not seeing it right now yet, but we will play out by him putting that Truth Social out there by admitting that the White House was forcing him to throw out Jimmy Kimmel, not because of ratings, not because of they didn't like, but because Donald Trump, and by threatening to sue. So this is a good thing, and that's why we need to continue doing that. What we're doing here is continue, like right now, what we're telling you about what's happening in the military. You should be right now, each and every one of you, on your phone with your congressmen, senators. This should be the biggest right now. This should be the biggest news. They should be calling Hextech. Someone should be calling him in. The media should be all over. What the hell are you doing? You're bringing in 800, or I think over 800 generals from all over
Wow.
the world. Just think
Wow.
about it, folks.
During active wars, right? During
During active
active
wars, yeah.
and plus that stuff that we know about. Imagine all the stuff, folks, that we don't know about. So we're making ourselves more vulnerable, making ourselves less safe. Putin is saber rattling again and again because he's like the raptor testing the fence. Israel is continuing on with his genocide. Israel says, let me just try to assassinate a Hamas peacemaker in Qatar, where we have like our largest military base outside of the United States of America. Ukraine is still fighting. He's now Donald Trump is just killing people in Venezuela. We still don't know, folks. We have no facts running out. Those 11 people were actually drug dealers. The New York Times last time reported that they were actually turning the boat back once they saw that they were being followed. So that means he might have unilaterally just killed people, murdered them without due process. And now Donald Trump has declared Antifa, whatever that means, as a terrorist organization. And they've already now lied. They've ceded the ground. And I said this earlier today. Notice how Tyler Robinson, the alleged shooter of Charlie Kirk, gone from the news. Why? White guy. They couldn't find a leftist link, but they've done the damage already. They seeded their base. There was the left, the left, the left. They, and we're sitting there. I'm like, me, Lev, Joanne Reed, Danielle. They? Who's they? It's Tyler Robinson. It doesn't matter. And then yesterday, the ICE shooting, a 29-year-old white guy. His friends, according to Ken Klippenstein, he was apolitical, 4chan shit poster, obviously radicalized, unwell, and now they're saying clearly he wrote anti-ICE. So now they're coming after law enforcement. Another Reichstag fire, right? Because Charlie Kirk was a Reichstag fire, and I think Kimmel did a backlash to them. It blunted them. So now they have this, and they're using this. Lev, talk to us about how they're going to use what happened yesterday in Dallas.
Well, this is the scary part because the narratives there being set. I don't believe in coincidences, Waj, and I know these people very well. If you take a look at what happened right after Charlie Kirk's shooting, the first thing our big FBI director Kash Patel came out with was the bullets, and he showed that the bullets wrote anti-fascism, or fascism catch fascism, something like that.
Yeah.
What was the next thing Donald Trump did? He went and he targeted Antifa, calling them a terrorist
Yeah,
organization.
before we had any suspect.
No suspect, no nothing. Now, same thing here. You have a shooting. Before you have any investigation, the first thing that comes out is bullets saying anti-ICE. Now, why is important anti-ICE? Is because there's been a huge movement going on in our country right now against ICE, his secret police. So they need to make a push to say that that it's the left rhetoric that's causing this. It's the left. It's again painting a story. Again, now they're coming out with information. And the scary part is if we saw what they did with the text messages in the Charlie Kirk situation, where all of a sudden you had these two millennials that are writing these, uh, I mean, telenovela messages between themselves, and you want us to believe that. So now they're all of a sudden already releasing, talking about journals that this guy was radicalized for all these years. Want to? I mean, it's a
It just
narrative
came out of
that.
the Washington Post. Very convenient. I mean, listen, if it's true, fine. But they found a note. Yes, it was just me. All right, sure. And then he ends up shooting only detainees. Okay, that's fine. We'll find out. But continue, Lev. Let's see.
I mean, listen, it's all part. It's like the puzzle. What you're seeing happen right now, you're seeing all these from what Trump did at the UN with the world, to what you're seeing Pete Hegseth call in all the generals, to the rhetoric that is happening, to what is really taking place and is going to take place today or tomorrow. We're going to see indictments, folks, on some of the most powerful people in the United States, not because they got caught red-handed, not because there's breaking news, but because Trump needs to do something drastically to take away from the Epstein files. B, he's been foaming for revenge. And if you've seen the revenge in Trump, you saw it play out at the UN. You saw where he told the story of how hatred he has for the UN because they didn't give him the job, because he wanted to build. He wanted to give him marble floors and mahogany wood. And because they didn't choose him, he showed, you could see it coming out. Those of you now that are starting to know Donald Trump a little bit better. Same thing here. So I'm hearing that this is a coordination of a major push for, and you're going to see Stephen Miller come out very soon. He's already come out. I mean, it was crazy to even see. I saw his wife. She was on one of the podcasts. She was doing, I think,
It was gross. The whole sex thing. He's like a sexual matador and all that
no,
stuff.
no, I wasn't gonna. I'll leave that.
Fuck. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's a
If
little
I
too
had to
ground.
hear it, you
That's
have to hear it.
yeah. I don't even want to hear it. Oh, but the fact that she said that she was on Lara Trump, and she said something, and it was interesting. She goes, Stephen, when he wakes up, the first thing he wakes up in the morning, and he starts looking in the mirror and working on his speeches.
Yeah.
He goes, he preaches, he speeches that, and if you look, it's like, he's preparing for something much bigger. He's preparing to
Yep.
come out to the stage, and you're seeing him, you're seeing these little bits and pieces, and what Vought did. I mean, just think about how disgusting what's happening, and this is why I'm so disgusted that we don't have some leadership. Look at the corner they're even putting the Democrats right now with this whole shutdown. Watch, they control the Senate, they
Yep.
control the House, they have the presidency, and it's the Democrats' fault that and the fact that
Call bluff on him. I would say bullshit. Call bluff. That's what I would do.
I would never see. This is why they need people like me that know them, that knows how to at least consult them a little bit. They should have never asked to meet in the White House. How dare you say you're sitting down? You've met with, you're not going to cut a deal with Donald Trump. You're just giving him ammunition to turn around and said, well, you know what you're proposing, I don't even want to talk about it. Then have the media spread it, saying that the Democrats, Trump won't even meet with them because the Democrats don't want to budge. No, you should be the one saying, we won't meet with you. We are going to shut it down. We're going to take away. We'll go scorched earth because you're taking away our
There you
democracy.
go.
You're destroying our Constitution. We have no other choice. People need to stand up. Where the cries? You don't see
Shut
Hakeem
it down.
Jeffries? No,
Shut
you
it
don't see
down.
it. Shut it. Thank you. Shut it down. And instead, he's letting them corner him. And this is why what's happening the past couple of days and what's about to take place the next couple of days, we need to rise up. And I'm saying to you, we need our voices to be heard. When I say rise up, we need to everybody out there, do what you can. Make your phone call, send your emails, become a subscriber. We need the number one thing we need to do is build these platforms. Because the one thing I want to tell you guys, and I didn't even get a chance to tell you what I'm hearing. These attacks on Comey, which we're going
I
to
was
get into
about
in
to
a
ask you
second,
about the indictments. Yeah.
we're going to get into indictments in a second, but the indictments are bigger and more than just revenge and just to be able. It's not about to get to the bottom of the truth. It's not about to get to a crime. It's about for the next step, to be able to go after everybody that's going to be left standing that won't be scared. that will continue speaking truth to be able to shut them down. Because what they're planning doing is just think about everybody out there who's right now speaking truth to power or out there trying to be a source by, giving information, not getting, and all of a sudden you're gonna see that ex FBI director
Yep.
indicted. You're gonna
Wow.
see.
Ray. They're going to go after Ray?
I'm hearing names like you're there. You're gonna see the you're gonna see Adam Schiff, a sitting senator, indicted. You're gonna see a attorney general that is right now from a sitting attorney general of the New York indicted. You're gonna see right now, and what I'm hearing literally tomorrow, John Bolton at CNN, I think is talking about also already now that John Bolton indicted. And when you're going to see these powerful people indicted, what do you think majority of all of these people out there, the little folks that are trying to, are the sources or the independent journalists? Exactly. And then step two, what happens to the people like me, Waj, my son Aaron, or the Midas that are going to continue speaking truth to power? If we don't have a big enough platform, they're going to shut us down. But if we have a big enough platform, if we unite and all of us stand together and our voices are strong enough, it's going to be like Jimmy Kimmel 2.0. We won't let him shut it down.
I feel so. Look, it's all scary. And he's already telegraphed it because he can't keep his mouth shut because he is that vain and that impulsive and that venal and that cruel. So he tells you, just like 5 weeks ago, he told you, I'm going to go after Jimmy Kimmel. And then right after, Brendan Carr literally tells a supervillain plot to Benny Johnson and then tweets about it and leaves a whole paper trail for himself to be indicted. Donald Trump comes on the back end and says, yep, admits it, and then even the right wing media tries to spin it. He goes, no, no, no. I'm going to go after him. He did that post 2 nights ago when Jimmy Kimmel appeared to record ratings, and similarly, he but posted. He was trying to send it to Pam Bondi a couple of days ago, but he posted exactly this. It was an accidental post, which then he deleted because I think he wanted to send it to her as a text. But regardless, we got it because it was on his Truth Social, where he's demanding Pam Bondi, his attorney general, to go after all these people: Adam Schiff, Letitia James, James Comey. Uh, so the way you fight back, folks, is we have the numbers. We have the numbers. The only reason why Disney did the right thing is because people said, F you, I'm going to cancel Disney Plus and Hulu. And within 2 days, Disney stock tumbled. Some people are saying they could have lost up to $3 billion. Their brand went down. Now, folks, the shareholders, I don't know if you saw this news, Disney shareholders are demanding accountability from Iger. And they're now saying, holy shit, what did you do to the brand? What did you do to our stocks? What did you do to our bottom line? And now people are going after Sinclair and Nexstar. They're like, oh, Sinclair and Nexstar, we had no idea. Oh, they're Trump toadies. Oh, they own the local stations. Okay, we'll go after your advertisers, right? Money talks. Exactly. I've always said that the color that trumps white in this country is the color green. The religion of this country is capitalism. All right. At the end of the day, the money, the money, the money. So I think there's a No Kings rally happening in October. Economic boycotts. I think we have to keep ourselves informed, shut it down. I do think this, Lev, to leave people on a sense of hope in the final few minutes, it's all scary, folks. They're going for martial law. Lev and I have been saying it for months. People thought we were crazy. Everything that we've been saying has happened. It's the world's worst. I told you so, right? The Reichstag fire, they found that Reichstag fire. Creating a martyr, Charlie Kirk is their martyr. Unleashing ICE, we said it, they're unleashing ICE, right? It's all happening. All of it is being led to a martial law moment. They're going to declare a group a terrorist group. We said that. He declared Antifa a terrorist organization. He doesn't have the right to, but he did. Doesn't matter. Go after his critics without accountability. He killed a bunch of Venezuelans. No one cared. He can declare anyone now a terrorist. The president has the power after the war on terror. Just go and kill. Authorization to use military force. Who's going to stop him? All of it's happening. But Lev, I think this is a sign of a weak administration. I
Absolutely.
think they're weak. And you gave a analogy a couple of weeks ago that's been stuck in my head, right? You said bandage, 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 bandage. After a while, you don't have enough bandages for the leaks. Your take of where we are right now.
Yeah, I mean, you perfectly said, Waj. I mean, all of everything, even the wars he says that he's fixed or done or whatever, everything that, it's bandages, eventually the bandages are starting to get ripped off. And the hope that I want to leave everyone off with is that is us, our voices, and it is those ripping off of the bandages by making sure we keep this alive. We make sure, just like with the Epstein files, that we tell you it's as kryptonite. Just no matter what you say, what you do, we need to keep that in the for. We need to make sure the survivors are. We need to push simple things. Like when I spoke to Congressman Rokana, he was on my Substack, and I said to him, I said, Congressman, I'm going to give you an easy one. You know what you should be doing every day, taking over the news cycle, is asking a simple question. Donald Trump, sit down with the survivors. They want to talk to you. Just a simple thing. Let's do a national campaign that we have the power where it should be a bipartisan. It shouldn't be nothing wrong. Where we're asking that the survivors are asking the president of the United States, which are some of the survivors are conservative. They're not even Democrats that are
Matthew, yeah,
asking the president of the United States to sit down and to listen to what their story is, that it's not a hoax, because that's what he fears, folks. See, big old Donald Trump, he goes out there, does all this, but he's scared because he can't face the survivors. He can't face the cameras with them. So there's nothing he could do. He can't spin it. So he's not going to allow it to happen.
and the Wall Street Journal came out, I believe it was, yeah, last night, which said that Donald Trump himself, they have a quote, and this is, of course, the flaming left Wall Street Journal owned by Rupert Murdoch, that Donald Trump personally said he'll do everything in his power to make sure that they don't get the book, that they don't release the files, which shows me that these files, folks, have some nasty stuff in them. And Lev reminded me that, and also when I talked to Michael Wolff, that these guys used to chase models, Epstein and Trump. Epstein and Trump both had modeling agencies. Trump, by the way, used to run Miss USA, which also had Miss Teen USA, right?
Erica Kirk.
Erica, folks, Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's wife, she was what? A Miss Teen USA contestant.
Arizona, yeah, Miss Arizona.
Yeah,
Miss
go look at the
Arizona.
photos. I'm
Yeah.
like, no way. And then I saw the photos, and then I looked back. I'm like, wow, it's so. Yep. Natasha, way. Literally, go Google right now. Erica Kirk, Miss Teen USA. I think from 2011 or 2012. You'll see. So these guys, Michael Wolff said, they used to go after girls ages 14 to 20. And I want to remind you all that Miss Teen USA, the girls are now women. They said this creepy guy, Donald Trump, used to go in their dressing rooms. And furthermore, Jeffrey Epstein said that he was his closest friend. I've been saying the three Achilles cankles of Donald Trump is the economy. The economy is no bueno, folks.
No, no.
Epstein, his health. He does not look healthy. And so it's scary times. It's scary times, but I just want to look, we focus on what we can do. There's a great saying in Islam, have faith in God, but tie your camel first, which means
Oh.
do everything. Yeah, do everything in your power to fix your situation and then you let it go. So we have to tie our camel. You have the voice, we have the votes, we have the money, and now you're seeing the fissures. There's just too many overreach. You just saw this video go of a federal agent like aggressively assaulting this young woman, this lady in New York. You saw
Yes.
that, right? She didn't do
Push, yeah,
anything to him.
yeah,
And he
yeah.
did it with cameras because they're so emboldened. This is what happens with power. You become arrogant and you become stupid and you trip over yourself. Lev, I have to go to Don Lemon, folks.
Yep.
Check me out on Don Lemon Show. You just reminded me at the last second, so I'll go on. Shamelessly promote yourself.
Guys, you find me here on Substack. It's our home. It's where we do it. By the way, tomorrow I have a special interview. I have Congressman Don Bacon. He's going to be
Right.
on, and we're going to be talking about how he needs to do some more. I know he's been stepping up for Ukraine, but we need more. We need more Bacons. We need more Masseys. We need more. We need more to come over, because I truly believe that with what Donald Trump is doing and all the craziness now, I think we could pull this off and get some more of them up. And before 2026 hits, we could start already doing some damage and stopping Donald Trump. So God
I
bless
think
every single one of you.
we have the votes. I think they have the votes to release the Epstein files. And another piece of good news: the survivors, the women came out today, and now they're threatening Republicans. They're going to go after them. They're like, all the ones who are not going to vote, we're going to hold you to account. So the Epstein files, folks, have been saying this for a while, since the summer. we've been saying it on this show and Lev's show whenever we talk, which is around once a week. But he's been so busy this week. I've been so busy this week. But we found 25 minutes. Epstein files. You want to look at a major weakness? It's the Epstein files. Folks, be kind to yourselves. Be decent. For the 1,300 people who joined us a bit late, we're going to have it up on Lev's Substack and my Substack. Lev is telling you what he's been hearing about why the generals are coming. He's been telling who's down in the pipeline for the next indictment, and he's also talking about how this administration is going to go full tilt authoritarian. But inshallah, we have the numbers, and as you saw this week with the Kimmel, we were able to get Disney to bend. Folks, I'll be on Don Lemon's show. This has been the Left Hook. Subscribe to the Left Hook. Subscribe to Lev. Be kind, be decent, and don't be a fascist. Take care, Lev.
Take care, guys.